And before I get this video going, guys and girls, I've got another small channel that I started, a Nanaimo Now channel. Well, I'm in Canada, I might as well do some Canadian content too. What do you think? Anyway, address is here, across the bottom of the screen, in the description. Go over there, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Like it, tell me. Hate it, tell me. Hit the subscribe button. Welcome to another video from Gweilo 60. I'm still here in Nanaimo, and I was thinking, you know, a lot of people are moving out of China. A lot of foreigners. The expat community is getting smaller and smaller, and I was thinking, there's a lot of reasons why people actually leave China. You know, for Weifang and I, it was for health reasons, and as soon as we get that back together again, we are going to be back in China. Yes, we're already plotting our return, but you see, there's a whole bunch of different reasons why foreigners leave China. Let's go back to say the 2007, 2008, 2009 in there. China started getting more expensive, and there was a lot of retiree foreigners in China living there because it was expensive in their own country, and China was very inexpensive. So you could live like a king in China for what you made off your old age pension or old age security or whatever you want to call it. Okay, well, when China got more expensive in the, you know, just before 2010, bingo, bango, bongo, those guys left. Yes, they did. They headed for places like Cambodia, Laos. They headed for places like Thailand and Indonesia, or wherever. They just got up and left. But that's one of the reasons. Another one of the reasons is that people come there with the idea that they're going to live and prosper in China, and they don't fit in. Yes, that's that. You don't fit in. They come there and they want everything to be exactly the same way as it was in their home country. The food's got to be the same, the weather's got to be the same, the culture's got to be the same, everything's the same, but it's not. And they hate it. And they last anywhere from 6 days to 6 months, and then bingo, they're gone too. Those are the bad foreigners. Those are the ones that nobody really gets to know, and nobody cares too much whether they're there or not. There are the foreigners that went over to China, and then the rules changed, and they have to get a police check done in their own country to make it possible for them to renew a visa to come back into China. So you got to go home, you got to do your police check, and if you have a criminal record, if you have warrants, hey Corey, if you have warrants for your arrest, you can't get that visa. So right away you're cut off. You can't go back to China, and that caught all of the scumbags that were in China, and now they got to find someplace else to go. So a criminal record can get you 86 out of China, because sooner or later you're going to have to do that police check to renew your visa, and it don't work that way. There used to be a lot of people went to China and taught English as a second language. Okay, well that's great. You know, back in the day, back in the early 2000s, your credentials didn't have to be, let's say, so spiffy. You could, if you spoke English, and English was your first language, chances are pretty good you can get a job teaching English just about anyway, whether you're good at it or not. Now, the rules have changed. If you don't have a university degree, a Bachelor of Arts minimum, you need a TOEFL certificate, an ESL teaching certificate. You need all of these different things to make it possible for you to teach in China. So for all of those teachers that used to be able to teach in China that have no credentials and they're not supposed to be teaching English to children, that all stops. So they leave China with a bad taste in their mouth because they got fired, and they don't they can't make a living in China, so they get up and leave. A lot of guys and girls out there come to China thinking they're going to be these world famous YouTubers. Yes, I know some of them. I've come across a lot of them in the past, and I know people that actually make a living off doing YouTube. I know people that want to make a living off YouTube. I know a lot of people that have shown up in foreign countries, from China to Singapore to Thailand to Malaysia to you name it, even here in Canada, that picked up a camera and wanted to be a star on social media, and just didn't work out. So it sort of dashed their hopes, and then they go back home because it didn't work out. You know, having these unrealistic views. YouTube as a job is just not, it's not a good career move. There's no longevity for, you know what I mean? It just doesn't make any sense to me. To other people that I know that are doing it, it obviously makes sense to them, and some are very successful at it, and some aren't very successful at it. It's just one of those things. The ones that aren't very successful, they usually go home. They leave China. Some people actually leave China because they can't handle the food. You know, and I can understand that, because when I first initially went to China, I had a hard time with the food. I'm still not a big rice fan, and you know, the fish head soup and stuff like that is just not something that I love. But being there for so long, I've learned to enjoy the koro. I've learned to enjoy the fish soup. I've learned to enjoy cha sao and sao ya, a barbecued duck. You know, there's a lot of different things that are just amazing with the food. But a lot of the people that come to China, they see what the food is, and they don't give it a chance. And they end up eating at McDonald's, KFC, and Pizza Hut, and you know what I mean? And that's not healthy. They don't embrace the food, so they decide, oh, this isn't for me, and away they go. Language is one of the biggest deterrents for foreigners in China. When you get there, you have to learn some of the language to get by. You got to be able to order a beer, guys. You got to be able to order food. You got to be able to tell people to leave you alone. You've got to, you know, you've got to do a lot of things and language helps with that. The Chinese language is very difficult to learn. There's well, anybody that's attempted it knows that there's 4 different levels of speaking, and each different tone. It could be spelt the same, it could sound the same, but it's got a different tone to it. So not being able to communicate is one of the main reasons I see people just give up on China and leave. Oh, and let's not forget the Lonely Hearts Club. You know, the guys that go over there, like me, I guess. I'm one of them, but I got lucky. They go to China, and they're divorced or whatever. They're maybe a little bit older. They're looking for love, and they find it. Oh my God! And get married to a Chinese girl, and it doesn't work out because there's language differences, there's cultural differences, there's food differences, there's family differences where if the family's poor, then you got to pony up and you know, help people out and stuff like that. And a lot of people don't thrive in that type of climate, and it ends up in divorce. Once they get divorced, they get a bad taste in their mouth. They say, oh, that place isn't for me, everybody's bad, and they get up and bugger off back to their own country. So love and marriage is one of the main reasons I see people leave China, because they figured that it's all going to work out, and they're going to get a beautiful Chinese wife, and life is going to be great and stuff. It does work out that way for a lot of us, but a lot of the people it doesn't, and they pack up and leave as soon as that happens to them, because their heart's broken once again. And getting your visa or work permit revoked, your resident permit, your permanent resident permit, all of these things are revocable in China if you do something illegal. A lot of people come on work permits, change their job, work illegally. Students coming into China and from English-speaking countries, and then teaching on the side, illegally teaching on the side. bingo, there goes your student permit, there goes your visa, there goes your whatever permit you're on in China, and you get booted out of China, never to return, because if you're not going to follow the laws of China, then they will kick you out, and they won't invite you back in. They will not give you another visa, another work permit, another student permit. It's just not going to happen. So a lot of people get caught doing things in China that they're not supposed to do, and that's another one of the main reasons why people actually have to leave China. Some people just leave China because they've had enough. They're travelers. They've gone to China wanting to experience China as a tourist destination. They wanted to see every corner of the country, and after a number of years, they've traveled the entire country. They've seen it all, or they figure they've seen it all, and they've had enough, and they move on to either they go to a different country or they go back to their own country. But I've seen it with a couple of people where they've come, they love China, they've experienced the China that they didn't have a clue about. They've learned it, they've seen it, they've done it, and then they just move on. You know, these are the good tourists. These are the good expats. These are the ones that actually embrace the country, and when they leave, they have nothing but good things to say about the country. And that's another video from Gweilo 60. From here, on the hill in Nanaimo. Beautiful background, eh? Some of my backgrounds are good here too, guys. Anyway, that's another video from Gweilo 60. If you like this video, as always, like, comment, subscribe, push that share button. Don't forget to resubscribe, hit the bell, hit the like button, make a comment, and until next time, peace out. Bye now.